guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually going to be doing this look for you guys. It's going to be a voiceover today. I only had like 20 minutes to get ready, and of course I decided to do a dramatic look. I mean, whoops. But I just wanted to do it really fast for you guys. Yep, let's stick in the teeth. Let's new to my channel. I actually made this look in mind for people with brown eyes. It's going to give you a big pop of color. It's going to actually draw attention to your brown eyes and accentuate them. And it's going to look stunning on you. And it's, I mean, like, it looks good with any eye color, but especially those with browns and hazels in their eyes. So this is the look that I came up with for you guys. I was using the Jaclyn Hill by Morphe palette and a few other new things that I had picked up in my haul video. So if you want to see how I got this look, just go ahead and keep watching. And go. Alright guys, welcome back. So right now I'm going to be taking the brand new Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Base Primer. This isn't new on the market, it's just new to me, and it's a wonderful primer. I don't really like silicone-y, like really liquidy primers. I like ones that are a little bit more firming, that feel like they're actually going to be smoothing out my pores and fine lines and providing a great base for my foundation, and that's exactly what this is. So it's amazing. It might even make it to my favorites video. And now I'm going to be taking the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Treatment Concealer in the shade Fair, and I'm going to be using this as an eyeshadow primer today. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the product and I'm going to be putting it straight onto my eyelids and up to my eyebrow bone, and I'm going to be blending it out with my fingers to warm it up and blend it even better. This is an amazing step to prime your eyes to go in with a very dramatic eye look today, which, as you can see, we're going to be taking the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe, and I've never used it. You can just see the little screen thingy fall off. I haven't used this yet. I literally just opened it. I have no idea what the colors were going to look like because I've never seen it before. So I'm going to be taking the shade Enlighten, or Enlight, excuse me. And I'm going to be putting that on a big shader brush, and I'm going to be putting that all over my eyes. This is just going to be setting that eyeshadow primer, or concealer in my case, on my eyelid. So this is just going to be like the foundation to set the eyes to make sure that my eyeshadow goes absolutely nowhere and stays in place once I put it there. So that's just what I'm doing right now. And as you can see, my eyes are already watering just from like it being product and a little bit powdery. So this is the shade Silk Cream, and this is going to be my first transition shade. There's going to be two transition shades, and this one is just serving a purpose to blend in Enlighten and the next shade together. And so this is like a perfect transition shade. These shadows are extremely buildable, they're extremely buttery and creamy, and they're absolutely amazing. I wasn't sure what to expect. I mean, I've heard some good things and some bad things about this palette, and I wasn't a big fan of the Morphe 350 palette. I actually sold it on my Poshmark site because I just didn't really care for it. The shades were too powdery, too much fallout, so this is completely different formula. Jaclyn Hill absolutely hit it on the mark, and I absolutely love this. So I'm just building this product up. I didn't want to go in too heavy-handed because, like I said, the 350 palette was very, very powdery. I feel like it was too pigmented, that it was just too powdery and it wasn't easy to work with, so I wasn't a big fan. But these shadows are amazing, super blendable, very buildable, and I'm just going to keep packing that shadow on. This is the same color. It looks a little bit different on camera, but it's absolutely not. It's still Silk Cream, and I'm just blending that out, buffing it all the way up to my eyebrow bone. And now that's the shade Creamsicle. This shadow is what I wanted out of this palette. Like, I would have bought it in like millions of singles. I would have bought this palette just for this eyeshadow shade. It's like the perfect mustardy yellow color. but it's like also has like brown undertones, as you can see, and then it looks absolutely stunning on top of that Silk Cream shade because it's warming it up, it's giving my eye life, and this is actually the inspiration for this eyeshadow look today. I'm going to be building that eyeshadow up all the way across my crease and up to my eyebrow bone, which is higher than I normally go with eyeshadows, and this is going to be all over. I'm just buffing that out, building it up. No rhyme or reason. It's literally going to be everywhere because it's going to be the second transition shade. I wanted it to be a very yellow look. Again, I've already told you this, but this eyeshadow look is made for brown eyes. Now I'm taking the shade Roxanne, and I'm going to be focusing this mainly on the outer V of my eye, but once there's almost no product left, I'm going to be swooping that into my crease to mix that with Creamsicle. And as you can see, this is like a burnt red brown shade, and it's got a little bit of orange in it, but especially when paired with Creamsicle, it kind of gives it more of like an orangey, fiery, heated look, and it's absolutely stunning, absolutely. And this is going to serve a purpose as to give the eyeshadow look warmth today, because I don't want to do like a normal brown smoky eye. I want it to be very dramatic. I want it to be very fall inspired, and again, I was inspired by that shade Creamsicle because it is absolutely stunning. And so I'm just going to be blending that up into my crease once I have no product left, but mainly focusing this on the outer V. And these eyeshadows are extremely buildable. So I love like packing on the color and then picking up another brush that has no product on it and blending it out because it's just gonna be like so seamless and buttery, and I absolutely love it. There's literally no rhyme or reason. There's no way you can mess up a look like this. I'm just going in with different brushes, slightly bigger as I blend them out, just to give it that seamless, very gradient look. So now I'm going to be taking the shade Chip, and I'm going to be putting this mainly in the outer V and not exactly blending it up. This is going to give the eye some dimension and darken it a little bit, but I don't want it to be like a normal, your average smoky eye. This is going to be very, very different, and I haven't seen a look like this on YouTube yet using this palette, and so I'm very excited to show it to you. And so I really want to focus this right on the outer V. My eyeshadow was kind of like creasing a little bit because my left eye has a little bit more of like a droopy, like kind of like wrinkle, more so than my right eye does. So it was kind of giving me a little bit more trouble, especially with these shadows being so pigmented. But that's not the fault of the shadows. That is definitely just like my eye. It likes to crease right there. So I was having a little bit more trouble packing that color on. Especially seeing how the other eye was already like so warm and packed on. So as you can see, you're going to see me actually build that eye up a little bit more than the other one just to give it the same payoff that that one did. So nothing new here. I'm just, as you can see, still packing it on and then buffing it out, and I'm using the same brushes that had on the previous shades, like the Silk Cream and the Creamsicle shades. So I'm just using those brushes that have hardly any of the product left on there to blend it out to give it a very like mustardy gradient like transition, so that way it's completely seamless and buttery and beautiful. So now I'm going to be going in with a newbie. This is the Too Faced Glitter Glue product that I told you guys I would be using more of because this is like my first shimmer shade that I'm going to be going in with in a long time. So I'm very excited, but I'm just going to be packing this on straight onto my lid all the way to my inner corner, but focusing this mainly on the middle of my eyelid and not going up into my crease at all. So I have no idea how this product applies, but it just feels like kind of like a tacky, sticky, like eyeshadow glue, if that makes sense. So it's just going to hold that product on there. And now I'm going to be going in with the shade Queen from the same palette, of course. And this is like a very mustardy gold shimmer color. It's absolutely stunning. It's even more stunning on the eye. I definitely recommend you use like a glitter glue or Fix Plus or something like that, and going in with your finger will give you the payoff that you really, really want on these shimmery shadows. And these shadows are absolutely amazing. As you can see, I don't normally go in with shimmers, so I'm like, what is this? But it's absolutely stunning. And now I'm just taking the shade in Light and Silk Cream together to buff that into my crease, so that way everything is married together and there's no harsh lines. And now I'm taking that shade Creamsicle to marry that as well. And now I'm taking Chip again just to deepen that up because it got a little lost in the look whenever I went in with Queen. So I'm just making sure that there's no harsh lines whatsoever. I want there to be a transition, not just like a harsh line in between Chip and Queen. So that's just what I'm making sure that there is, and then I'm buffing it again. I know that this seems like there's a lot of blending involved, but when there's this many shadows and shimmers and it's like this dramatic and intense, you really want to make sure that it's completely blended out. And now I'm taking a newbie as well. It's the IT Cosmetics Superhero Liner, and I don't think that they have any colors besides black, and it literally, as soon as you put it on, it dries completely matte, but it's not as black as I want it to be, as you can see. It could be because I did go in with such a bright shimmery shadow and the glitter glue, so I'm going to test it out as well on like a normal look for some eyeliner, but it's so sharp, it's so precise, it's so buildable, and it's absolutely, like, it's so smooth, and I love it. And I know I'm out of camera, but I will be doing an eyeliner video for you guys soon. But I just wanted to do this really quick to show you how long it actually takes me to do liner. And I wanted to do it kind of thick, but I wanted to do a very, very, like a pretty wing. So I'm going in and making sure that I'm going to paint my eyelashes as well with this eyeliner. So that way you can actually see, like my eyelashes are very blonde, but I want you to see like that I actually paint them on top with my eyeliner. So it's really neat, and I wish that this eyeliner was just a little bit more black, but again, I will try it out with another look, and I'll show you guys how it looks with other looks, because it could be that I used the glitter glue on the bottom of that. So now I'm going to be taking the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Redness, and this is just the foundation kind of like base to cancel out any redness. This is nothing new to my channel. I think I've used it in almost every video that I've done, but I have quite a bit of breakouts. It's, you know, my lovely time of the month, so I have tons of breakouts and texture and redness, and it is just a hot mess express on my face. So I'm going to be taking quite a bit of this just to make sure that when I go in with foundation, it's going to be a clean slate and fully primed and kind of like corrected. That's the word I'm looking for. Sorry about that. But I'm just gonna take this and put this everywhere that there is redness, mainly in my T-zone and on the breakouts on my chin. That is where I get the most of my breakouts. Those are where the hormones are, and so all over my jaw and chin line, there's a ton of breakouts. And a lovely Marilyn Monroe acne spot. That thing is like Mount Everest. I was watching it this whole time I was editing this video, and I'm just like, girl, I should have done something before that video. So, but yeah, this is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Redness. I absolutely love this stuff. I recommend it to anybody with any type of acne or redness. This is absolutely amazing. Again, it keeps my skin from showing any redness. So, and then it also saves my foundation the time and blending, because it would take a lot of foundation to cover up all that redness. I don't even know if it could. It would be a lot of concealer too. Now I'm going to be taking the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Nude, and I'm going to be using a foundation brush, and I'm going to be spraying that with the CAUDALIE whatever grape setting face spray thing it is, and I'm going to be rubbing this all over my face and blending it up. To be honest, I've been grabbing this foundation more than I have my Giorgio Armani foundation. I think this just has a little bit more high coverage than the Giorgio Armani foundation does, and I love it. And it's also a different shade, so I think that this one matches me just a little bit better than that one does. And I've just been loving it so much. So as you can see, I'm just blending this all the way out, making sure that it doesn't cake up in my hairline. I have a lot to cover, so I'm going to be going in with lots of concealer today. Alright guys, now I'm going to be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Palette in the shade Light. I'm going to be mixing the shade Fair and Banana, and I'm going to be putting that all over my under eye area as I would any other concealer. This isn't supposed to go under the eye. I suppose it could, but it's stuff that I definitely don't recommend it. It's very drying, so unless you are completely wanting a matte look and you have lots of oil on your face, I would not personally go in with this again. I was just testing it out because I wasn't sure how it was going to go. So as you can see, I'm using a damp beauty blender to blend this out. And now I'm going to go back in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour shade in Banana. And I'm going to be carving out my under eye area just to make sure that everything that I want concealed is concealed. And now I'm taking the Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Tinted Pressed Finishing Powder in the shade Light. Whoops, there it goes. And I'm just going to be putting this under my eye everywhere I want my concealer set. So I'm going to be using a big fluffy brush at first, and then to get really in there on my contours, I'm going to be using this little smaller setting powder brush. And I absolutely love this powder. It's so freaking mattifying, and it's stunning, and it's like pore concealing. So now I'm going to be taking the shade Banana and just going everywhere I usually conceal my face with this shade, and I'm using a concealer brush by, I want to say it Cosmetics, and I'm just going to be putting this everywhere and then blending it out. Just everywhere that I usually put concealer, I'm going to be using this. I wanted to test it out because I want to start doing more makeup on other people, so I wanted to get this for my makeup kit so that way I can use it on others, and I wanted to test it out to see what the formula was like so that way I know what I'm going to be putting on other people. And I actually really like it for the face, again, unless I want something super matte, like if somebody has a ton of oil on their face, I would not personally go in with this under the eyes. It was very mattifying. So I'm just going to blend that out, make sure that everything is blended in with my foundation, and using that foundation brush again with the Grape water spray on it, just to make sure that everything is blended in and very flawless look to the face. I don't want to do anything drastic, just flawless. Now I'm going to be taking the Tarte Treasure Box kit, and it's got like 29 different eyeshadows or something crazy. It's got 2 bronzers, 2 blushes, a highlight, a mascara, everything. So I'm going to be mixing those 2 bronzer shades, Navigate and Excursion, together. One of them is shimmery, one of them is matte, and I just wanted to mix that together on a big fluffy brush, not necessarily contouring, literally just bronzing the face, putting this all over my face to bronze me up and warm my look up, because I did go with a such warm look on the eyes that I wanted to warm my skin up naturally. And now I'm going to be taking the shade Perk and the blush, and I'm going to be putting that on a blush brush. I swear I'm not trying to rhyme. And this is a stunning color. I absolutely love it. And just putting that on my apples of my cheeks. Now I'm going to be taking the shade Wanderlust in the highlight, and I'm going to be putting this everywhere that I want highlighted. And it is a very pretty highlight, but it's a little bit too, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's very pretty, and I think it would be stunning on deeper skin tones, but I think I'm just a little too pale for this, and it was a little too, like, warm that it didn't do too much. And now I'm going to be putting this on my inner corner of my eyes. I like to match the highlight to my brow bone and my inner corner. I just think it pulls the whole entire look together. I think if you do an eye look like that, you really have to pull in the whole eye look together. So now I'm going to be using the Lights Camera Flashes 4-in-1 Mascara by Tarte, and I'm also going to be covering up my acne with a Marilyn Monroe mole, and I just used my eyebrow powder. Now I'm going to be taking the Ardell Demi Wispy Lashes, nothing new to my channel. I'm already out of these. This is just a stunning lash, and I absolutely love it. As always, I'm going to be doing my eyebrows in the Benefit Ka-Brow number 3, and I'm going to be putting this everywhere that my eyebrow is sparse in hairs, and I'm just going to be filling that in and doing my eyebrows as usual. If you guys want an in-depth eyebrow tutorial on how I do my eyebrows, I can definitely do that for you, but as you can see, I'm just using that $1 Billion Brow eyebrow brush, and I'm just filling in my eyebrows as usual with the shade number 3 by Benefit. I absolutely love this stuff, but like I've already said, I do enjoy the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade as well. And I'm just going to be combing that through. As always, I want it to be very seamless and blended, and I'm going to be covering it up with the Ka-Brow Give Me Brow. Now I'm going to be taking a smudgy brush, and I'm going to be going in with that creamsicle shade under my eyes just to bring the whole yellow mustard look all together. And I'm going to be putting that all over my under eye just to give it a very pop of color. And I absolutely love this shade, especially under the eye. I feel like I'm going to be doing this a whole lot more. It's just the most stunning shade I've ever seen. I absolutely love it. I'm sure I said that a billion times in this video, but now I'm going to be taking that shade Roxanne, and I'm going to be blending that out. I was very light-handed with that shade, but I'm just going to be blending that out in with creamsicle, very light-handed, but it's just going to give that pop of color. And I'm just blending that out real good. You don't want any harsh lines, especially under the eye, because then it will draw attention to your fine lines and wrinkles. You just want this look to be completed. Now I'm going to be taking that Roxanne shade again, but a little bit deeper, and I'm going to be going a little bit more heavy-handed in with it, just to give that pop of color. And then on a pencil brush, I'm going to take the shade Chip, and I'm just going to keep that on the outer V, Hello Husband. I'm going to be keeping that on the outer V and not dragging that all the way into my inner corner. This is the finished product. I used Anastasia Beverly Hills, where is it? I used Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Lip in Pure Hollywood, and of course my Ride or Die lip liner, which if you are not new to this channel, you already know that it's the Urban Decay by Gwen Stefani Ex-Girlfriend lip liner. It is the most stunning color ever, and you guys already know that I'm a big fan of the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lips in all of these shades, and so this is what I came up with. I wanted to do a very nude lip because we did go heavy on the eyes, and I did do like a very dramatic under eye as well with some reds, orange, and yellows, which I am just all about this season. I think that it's so stunning that so many different makeup companies are coming out with like fire palettes and heat palettes and like very warm shades, because I'm all about that life. And I want to do a cool toned look for you guys and a smoky eye for you guys that's also cool toned. So that's going to be coming up on my channel, so stay tuned for all of that. But yeah, this is the look that I came up with. I really wanted to accentuate the eyes, and I had in mind this look for brown eyes, since I do a lot of looks that look very good on blue and green eyes because it makes them pop. This is the look that I came up with for brown eyes because it would look stunning, and it's gonna like bring attention and accentuate them and just gonna make them pop and give a little va-va-voom to the eyes. So I hope you guys love this. I used a lot of products that are new to me, and I know it's going to be a voiceover. I wanted to do a chatty get ready with me video and to go into depth about what I did on the eyes, but it just didn't work out with timing, so I just went ahead and just filmed it, and then I'm going to do a voiceover later, so that way I can get it up for you guys quicker as well. I have a couple other videos that are going to be coming after this one, like my husband buys my makeup, and I have to use everything that he bought. So that's gonna be exciting because I have no idea if he even knows what I put on my face. So we'll see how that goes. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. I also had this like humongous zit and I turned it into like a Marilyn Monroe mole. So it's just like kind of an idea of like embracing what you have to work with and kind of just, you know, being creative and everything. I mean, I'm all about like faux freckles and anything like that. I just think that they're so stunning and just makeup's so fun. Like there's no rules. They're meant to be broken. I feel like you can do anything you want and it's gonna look stunning. So I hope you guys love it and I'll see you soon. Bye.